Hey, this is Magnar, and welcome back to my modding tutorial series for Rome 2 Total War. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you about army stances and how to mod those and how they all work. So if you want to remove forced march and all that kind of stuff, this is the tutorial to show you how to do that. I'll also be showing you how to add additional effects to the different stances, or even how to make culturally specific stances and all that kind of stuff. So let's get on with it. I'll start off by going into the Data Rome 2 pack, which is in the data folder, of course. Been using it for every episode. But before I go any further, you should have already seen and be familiar either be familiar with campaign effect scopes, or watch my tutorial on it. That would be episode 41, dealing with effects, effect bundles, and effect scopes. We'll be using all of that in this episode, and I'm not going to really go into how it all works too much. Just with how I'm only going to go into how it works with regards to the army stances. So yeah, check that out before you kind of carry on with this one. You don't have to, but I'd recommend it. Okay, so now let's go check out the army stances. Okay, so army stances are determined in, if we go Data Rome 2, we'll just go straight there. It's called campaign. Where is it now? Okay, campaign stances. Okay. So here we have a list of different army stances we can use. So you see here, you got, when you play the game, you hover over the different army stances. You can pick, force march, raiding, fortify, or normal. So you got 4, and then you got the naval ones, which is also raiding, double time, patrol. I'm not sure what the other ones are, but there's also other stances which are controlled by what the stack or what the army is actually doing. Such as here, you've got laying siege. Obviously, when your army is laying siege, when their garrison is when they're in a settlement. Dock is when they're in a dock. Okay, blockade, obvious when they're blockading. Set camp is the one where they're fortified in the field. Raidings when they're, of course, raiding in the field, patrolling. Muster is any time you recruit units. When you recruit units, you go into a muster stance. Again, it's one of those ones which is not set directly by the player, but is automatically initiated when you decide to recruit units. March would be force march. Raiding on land. So this raiding, of course, here is, where is it? Oh. Yeah, so this is sea raid, land raid. Double time would be the naval double time. Assemble fleet is recruiting for naval units. Ambush on land, of course. And the default one is when you've got nothing. Default is also active when you're garrisoning a unit or docking an army. So if you're in a city, you get the benefits from the garrison or from the dock, plus the default as well. So they're both there. Okay, so now these are all the different stances that are available in the game. You cannot add new stances. You can only use these ones here. Now we can assign those to different cultures and create different sets of those. So we can have a Roman ambush, a barbarian ambush, an Eastern ambush, or even factions. So you can have a Etruscan ambush, or an Iceni, or a Verni ambush, or subcultures as well. And when we do that is in, give me a sec. It's right above the campaign stances table in, not that one, campaign stance effect junctions table. So if we click on that, we can open that up. And here we assign the stance from this campaign stances table. And we can assign an effect bundle to it. And then we can assign that bundle for that stance for either a culture using this column. Okay, these ones aren't actually specified. You can find out which ones they are by going into Assembly Kit. So let's go into Assembly Kit and open that up. So one is for subculture and one is for faction. Because they're not actually used in the vanilla tables, PFM currently hasn't got them updated. I'll probably do that after this. I'll probably update the schema and put it on Total War Center, the updated schema, so that these two columns are known. In case you want to, if you know how to edit your schema file, which is used by PFM to determine what all these headings are and what kind of data is in there and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can grab it straight away once I've posted it on Total War Center in the PFM forum thread, or you can wait until the next update of the PFM, which will, I'm pretty sure once I've posted it, we'll include it in there. Okay, so you should know about effect bundles from the episode 41 I did on effects, effect bundles, and stances. And we're going to go check out what's currently assigned to, say, these ones already. The culture is, of course, the 4 main cultures, which are already right here. They're automatically given set up for the fortification stance, but you can do it for any stance you want, and we're going to do that in this episode once I go through all the tables, and then I'll go through and create a new stance specifically for one of the cultures, as I've done also in Magnar Mod. Pretty much most of these different stances have culturally specific ones. So yeah, I'll go do that after this. Thing to note is the order of precedence. So if you assign a culture, so you have a default. So this is a default one. It's not assigned to any specific culture, subculture, or faction. So if you assign a culture to one of them, but only to one faction, then the remaining culture. Then the remaining 3 cultures will all get the default one. Similarly, if you have a culture, so to say this is you've got a barbarian culture version, plus you have a subculture of the barbarian type, so say a Sarmatian or a Celtiberian or a Gallic subculture stance of the same stance, then that will overwrite whatever the main culture stance is. And similarly for faction. So if a faction is included in the subculture and the subculture has its own specific stance, then the faction will overwrite that one, and it'll use its own faction one and not the subculture one it's a part of. Okay, so there's that one, and then now we can go straight to where we assign the. You can see there's a stances table here. That's nothing to do with stances. So now we can go to assigning the effect bundles to the stance, and so we can just go effect. Okay. So we go to effect bundles to effect junctions. I know I've switched into. I should probably go back to PFM because that's what I'm using most of the time. Well, not that one. Let's go to data. So I go to effect bundles to effects junctions here. And we can pull up what is currently being used for the stances. So we can just click on the effect bundles and click on the little arrow. And then we can go down to, where is it? Rome, faction, no. Force, here it is, force stance, raiding, for instance. And I'll do force march because a lot of people like to remove force march, and I can kind of talk about how to do that here. So you can see here that you have the effect bundle, which is assigned in this other table, wherever I had it, stances. Ooh. Okay, so we can check. We can just check using the assembly kit to have one table open, and this one having the other, PFM having the other table open. So we've got here Rome stance, army, force march. Rome stance, army, Should be for March. There it is. Army Force March. And then you assign the different effects to it. And then, of course, the effect scope. Again, I'm not going into effect scopes. I went into that with the episode 41. I really suggest if you want to create some really nice custom effects, then go and do that and watch that tutorial. Now you see here we have movement speed here, roam, this effect key, roam force campaign mod movement range. This value is 75% additional to whatever the base movement is. So if you want to make that no force march and essentially removing that bonus to movement, you can make that a 0. Or if you want to make it so that the force march stance cannot actually move, you can make that minus 100. So it's minus 100% movement, which is what I've done with my new stances for Magnar Mod. I removed force march and turned it into something a bit different. Okay, so that's the basics of it. Let's go and now do that. Edit one of the stances, or create a new stance in the Magnar Mod base pack, or whatever pack you're working with. So I'm going to go add from pack, data roam 2, double click on it or click it and open. And then we're going to add all those tables that we just had a look at then, being going to campaign. Well, we don't need to add the campaign stances tables. We only need to, because that one is not, we're not able to change anything in there. That just tells us what the stances are, which we will use in this table here. So we're going to right click on that and add this campaign stance effect junction tables. And we haven't got, okay, and then we're going to have to add also the effect bundles table and effect bundles to effect junctions table. I think that is all we need. Yep, okay. So I've got those tables, click OK, save it, rename all the tables so we can just work with our own data rather than having to overwrite vanilla stuff. So I'm just going to put a mag, oh no, I always put mag shoot, so let's just keep doing it the same way. Okay, mag shoot. Okay, we'll save that again. Now we're going to go and first things first, we're going to create a new force march. Where is it? Force march. Here. So I'm going to clone that row. Actually, I'm not even going to clone. I'm just going to change it. So let's make up a stance, and we'll call it mag stance roam stance army force march for Rome. So this will be a Roman force march. So let's just grab the culture, copy and paste it in. And that's all we need to do. Just delete everything else. Okay. And now I can save that. I'm going to copy this effect bundle, and I'm going to go and just put it into the effect bundle table. Now here we can also change which icon it refers to. I'm going to just use the icon for an existing stance force march. I'm not going to change the icon, but I will show you where to change the icon. So let's go down to stance, force march. Okay, so I'm just going to keep everything here the same because I haven't got I haven't created an icon. Well, I have created an icon, but not specifically for this tutorial. Okay, so it's got that's the icon it's using. Now the icon is found if we go back into the Data Roam 2 folder. Just this is a little segue about the icon before we get into assigning effects. We go down to UI, skins, default, and then we can just find whatever the Where is it? It's actually probably better to show you where we've extracted it. So if you've already extracted all the vanilla files, like I have here in previous, so UI, okay, I haven't extracted it. I'll extract it now, and we can, while it's extracting, we can continue doing the effects and then come back to that at the end. So okay, so you go right click, extract selected, then we choose the directory we want to extract it to. Programming. Oh, wrong tutorials. Tutorial, vanilla extracted. Okay. Okay, let's get back into here. Okay, so we've got our bundle set up. I can copy that bundle key again, and we're going to go to Effect Bundles to Effect Junctions. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start off with the vanilla force march, and I'm just going to alter it. So I'm going to go down to Stance. Here it is, force march. I'm going to select all the rows which use that bundle. I'll just paste over them. This is just to start off with. We'll go in and do some more, or add some effects to them, or remove something like that. Now, a thing to note also with these, which I will probably cover a bit more. For instance, force march Rome. These ones here don't actually work. See, it says dummy. It means that even if you remove this row, your force marched army will always be ambushed, even if this is gone. It says dummy there, so it probably doesn't do anything if you remove it or have it. It's just to let you know that it is there. The fact that it cannot attack is also hard-coded, and that you cannot recruit is also hard-coded. So, yeah, putting that to 0 or doing anything like that's not going to have any effect. Same thing with all the other standards. They all have certain behavior which is hard-coded and not moddable. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do for this stance is we're going to reduce the speed. Instead of making it a force march, we can make it, instead of saying plus 75, we can say minus 50%. Now movement will be about half as fast as normal, so the AI won't use it so much and won't get caught out as much. We can now also do something else, like increase the maintenance cost of all units in the army. So let's clone a row, just so I have all this stuff there, and now I'm going to go to, okay, the extraction's finished, so when we're ready we can jump in that. Okay, let's go to the effects table now. So if we go to effects, this is where all the effects we can grab for this effect key. Effects table, and now we want the effect which deals with increasing the upkeep for units. So we've kind of just got to scour through there until we find it. The actual key of the effect is generally a pretty good way to search for it. So if we look at agent, we know it's not going to do it with army. Let's go see if we can find anything. Rome force. This stuff will probably have something to do with upkeep. So let's see. Unit mod, morale. Unit size we could probably increase as well. I haven't thought about that. That could be an interesting idea. Could even link that to attributes or something to increase the size of units, or to the yeah. I might try that a bit later. Okay, so we've gone a bit too far. Mod unit size, turning speed, melee damage, movement, morale, missile, melee. Experience. This experience is not experience per turn. It is, oh, well, this is experience gain rate, the speed at which it gains experience. But this experience here is how much experience it has when it's first recruited. Charge bonus, melee, missile, morale. Where is upkeep? Okay, so you can see that there's no upkeep here that I can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a different if I can't find one, I'm going to grab one actually from a different place. Oh, here we go. Here it is. I knew it was there. So this is the effect we're going to grab. Okay, so Roam Force Campaign Mod Upkeep Land. So I'm going to add that, and I'm going to say in this stance, because I'm reducing the speed, let's say units are also going to get reduced upkeep. Then I have to worry about the effect scope and make sure that the effect scope is correct for that new effect that I'm adding. So that's a quick way to do this is to actually look at other stances that have done the exact same thing, that have the same effect used for the same purpose. So we can quickly look at that if we want to check what the effect scope is going to be. So go to Effect Bundles to Effect Junctions, search by effect key, and go Roam Force, Campaign Mod. Okay, so see that the stance army rating has it in the effect scope for this stance is this army, so we've got that already, so we can leave that as is. You can see that it's used a different effect scope for the Carthaginian faction trait, has it in all their armies. So, but we don't want that effect scope because you have, like I said before, look for an effect which is being used to do the exact same thing as you want to do. If it's not there, then you have to either create your own effect or look for an effect which does what you want to do. Again, episode 41 deals with effect scopes in more detail, so check that out if that's what you want to figure out. Advancement stage, I generally just use whatever else is also being used. Okay, and we can save that. Okay, so now the last part before we finish up. So now we've showed you how to add effects to the stances, how to add culturally specific ones, and now you want to do the okay, where is my, here it is. Let's go find the icon for the stances. Now the ones should be in UI, skins, default, and it's here, icon, forced march. This would be the icon you change. Now this icon is the icon which is on the UI, which you can select to select forced march. This one is not able to be culturally specific. It is just a generic one for all different stances. The one that is referenced in the effect bundles here, this icon, this is to do with when you hover over, sometimes in the bottom left-hand corner or somewhere, it'll have a little green or red icon which tells you, if you hover over it, it tells you the effects that are occurring, and that's what this effect bundle icon refers to. It is not the one which you select when choosing to go into that stance. So force march is here. The other ones are also in here. So you'll have icon fortify. What else is there? Icon. Got a rating, for instance. There's a rating one as well. Where is it? Okay. But they all start with icon. Quit note. There's the recruitment. There it is. So there's the icon rating. Icon, yeah, I'm a bit slow. Okay. Yeah, so that's how you do army stances. The description for when you hover over the stance is all in the text files. These ones here, as with the other ones, don't do anything. You have to go into the text files to edit those. They are the, if we go into the data folder, and we go at, so grab, say this one, local EN Rome 2, or the one above, local EN. If you have a different language, it's going to be local RU for Russian, or local DE for German, possibly. I have no idea what they're called in other languages because I don't use the other language packs. We go into text, DB. If you have the English one, you have it all set out like this. If you have the a different language, it'll all be just one .loc file. And we go down to stances. Should be a stances one here. Nope. Sorry, not stances. It should be effect bundles. It's anything to do with the effect bundles table is in the effects effect bundle, because it's not specific to stances. So if we go into here, it is effect bundles. Just find the ones for force march. Stance force march. Okay. So here's the one. This is determines what it says when you hover over it, and it says the short description here. Bundles localized tile, roam, stance, force, army, force, march. Of course, you would change this to be your own effect bundle key. So in our example here, it would be we would add this text file to here. I'm not going to do it in this one, but we would add the text file. We'd create a line and just add like that. Obviously, we wouldn't overwrite the vanilla one. We would have our own one, like we've done with the other text files, as you can see here. Oh, that's not the one. That's my mod. If we look at the Magnar Mod base pack, you can see how we've done it here before. We just add the. Oh, I guess I can just do it. Okay, let's just do it from pack. Text DB effect bundles. Double click. Okay. Save that. Okay, now let's go find what we're after. Effect bundles, localized description. Okay, here it is. So we can. So this is the other part. The localized description is one, and the tile, localized tile, is what we were looking at before. So we're going to do that one first. Localized tile. Force march. We'll clone that, and we're going to also clone the description. Localized description, roam, stance, forced march. Here. Okay. Where did they go? Okay, because I sorted it, they were in different spots, but if I unsort it, okay, I screwed that up. Let's. And now I've got to find them because I didn't delete everything. I have to now go and find where I put them. So I'm going to sort by localized string, and I'm going to sort by tag, and they should be right next to each other. I can go find them again. So, sorry, this is a bit of a mess. Didn't expect to do it this way. Force march. So there's two force marches now. I can make one roam and change it. For instance, Roman force march. And I'll go delete everything else now just to make sure it's not so hard to find everything. And now I'm going to go down to that. So that was the tile done. Now I need to do the description. Roam stance. Force march. Okay. Tutorial. Forced march for Rome. Again, delete everything else. You can't just do Control Shift and up or down. I don't think. Let me try it. Sorry, I can. Okay, that's good. Still hit that. Now I've only got the two that I actually did. I did it a way I don't normally do it. It took a bit longer than normal, but in the end, we've got the tile and the description. Signed, and we've got all the bundles done now. Everything's great. So now we're going to go and check it out in game and show you all that it works. Okay, here we are in game, and we're going to select the Roman army because this is who we've added the new stance to. If we hover over the army stanzas here, and we go up to the forced march. I've done something wrong with the text because it's not displaying properly. It forces in this stance. Okay, the upkeep there, you can see the upkeep which we added, the minus 25%, and also the movement there, so the effects are working. But my text, I've not done something correctly, so I'm going to go back quickly and figure what that out is and then show you, and then I'll end the episode there. Now, when you add new effects, you have to check that the effect scope is correctly and that the effect is working as you intend. And to do that, no better way than just to test out the stance itself. When we check it out, we want to see that the area which we can move, so it's here, it should be about half, so it should be around here, and also that the upkeep of the units is less. So we're going to have a look here, and this number should go up, the income should go up because the upkeep is lowered. So let's check it out now. There you go, 24 to 26, so an up. So the movement is also changed. So we know our effects that we've added and changed are working as intended. Okay, now let's go back and figure out what is wrong with those text, which is stopping this from working. Okay, it's pretty easy to find what my problem was. You see how I changed this from Rome to Mag, but in the for the effect bundle name, but I forgot to change it here, so it still says Rome. If I need to just change those now to Mag, and it will display properly. Alright, so that is Army Stances. I hope it was helpful, and thanks for watching. Catch you next time.